Welcome to the channel. I am Ryan Jackson Saul. I am a shadow coach, and I take people into realms of deepening their understanding and their perspectives of reality and of themselves so that we can seek richer, fuller, wholer experiences and become far more powerful than what we were before in a disempowered state. Now, if you're here today, it's because you are seeking something. You're looking for certainty. You're looking for clarity. Nobody can tell you anything is true. Only you can tell yourself that. Because maybe you are someone who detests authority and dictations. You reject disempowering ideas. We are millennials. We're children raised in single households. We're people who our parents were ambitious and they engaged in the workforce while we were left alone to raise each other or to be left in the state's hands. But what happened to us in the hands of the state? I'll start by saying children who seek validation and to be seen can oftentimes be very cruel to each other. For many of you, you've experienced this cruelty yourselves. Bullying, name-calling, backstabbing, popularity, Olympics, all of that. And the children who, like their parents, showed deep academic ambition were often socially outcast. Far too many children who didn't fit in early found themselves highly isolated. No real circle of friends except maybe one or two who found themselves in a similar situation and came together. And that bond is deep, but nothing cuts deeper than when you lose one of them. This video is for those who strayed into the darkened corridors of social rejection, isolation, disconnection. You found yourself deep into the world of angst. Now, angst isn't some childish emotion only experienced by teenagers due to raging hormones and a general discomfort of reality. It's something far more valuable than that to be dismissed offhand by adults who are so disconnected from their deeper emotions. They cast judgment on those who can truly feel something. Angst is often treated as a teenage indulgence moodiness, rebellion, oversensitivity, but it is actually a form of numinous energy, a psychic eruption that signals the psyche's attempt to individuate. It's raw, unrefined libido. When we are young, it comes out unfiltered through music, rebellion, romantic intensity, rage. Oftentimes we lose ourselves in little worlds that we create for ourselves. Pockets of reality that no one else is allowed into. As adults, society demands that we suppress it in order to function. The result is often a hollowness, or what Carl Jung calls the desert of the soul. Now, many of us find ourselves there now. So I invite you to look back with me to take you back to those feelings once again, and to attempt to ignore the fact that many of your assumptions of the world were wrong or misguided, because as young people, of course, there's so much to learn. Wisdom is a seed that needs time to grow. But the emotional state, the chaos, the clarity, when justice meant something more to you than just state-enforced systematic solutions. Real justice meant others deserved to suffer the same way as they made you suffer. It was a time when you saw how people really were before they grew up and got really good at hiding it from the world and from themselves. Before the masks, before the resolution of insecurities and the certainty, before safety. We got to see the undercurrent of human society in its raw form, even if it is something we don't want to believe about humanity. There it was on full display for everyone to see. Angst is not just pain. It's a protest against deadness, against a world that asks you to trade truth for safety. It demands meaning. Often this energy created bullies People who sought to harm others, to basically they picked the kids who could see the light inside of them and showed them instead their darkness. They were terrified of themselves because they rejected themselves, because they couldn't imagine themselves truly vulnerable enough to be happy and form real connections. They were so low in their spirits that they had to push others down in order to appear that they were higher. Part of shadow work that makes the work difficult is giving space to these things, to remember, to feel, to reflect. I'm not asking you to dwell here for long periods of time. What I'm asking you is to remind yourself again what it feels like to truly feel, to be real with your core. Maybe you are tolerating things now that your younger self never would have. Is it safer? Sure, it's probably a lot safer, but too much safety can starve the soul. You once walked the edge of being unsafe, and even if it threatened to consume you, it also made you feel vividly alive. That edge wasn't just reckless. It was the place where your soul pressed hardest against the world, demanding to be known. What I'm asking you now is not to go back, but to remember this, to recall the rawness of that energy, the chaos, the justice, the intensity. Bring it forward into the present. Not as a regression, but do it as a reclamation. Because angst was never merely pain. It was the self crying out. It's a protest against deadness, an eruption of your authentic fire. If you can remember yourself in the fullest sense, both who you were and who you are becoming, then that energy does not have to die. It can be harmonized. It can be lived again. But this time, it can be lived with the strength and consciousness of an adult. So I invite you to take some time after this video, close the video, go have a reflection, meditate, let yourself fall back into your path. Let yourself feel it again. Let yourself remember things that you haven't remembered for many years. Remind yourself of who you were, what that energy was, and find a way to bring it into your life and show it what it can be. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Ryan Jackson Saul, I'm a Shadow Coach, and stay tuned. I'll be back again soon with another video.